what is anonymity? Anonymity is using the internet without their own names and without their personal information. Then, as a motion is saying, then what does anonymity does anyway? Well, opposition side can probably say that it's good because people can express their opinions freely without being stopped by someone. But actually, that is the problem. Because when people go over the line that they shouldn't go over, that leaves many hurts to the people who receive their opinions. So let me give you examples. Like actor Chadishir had to suicide because she got a lot of bad replies and reviews about her, giving her a lot of hurtfulness. That led to her to suicide. And not only her, many other celebrities and other famous people also get a lot of the bad reviews and replies from the other people who uses anonymity in the internet. This is very bad because it can lead to very serious problems such as suiciding. And often, most of the bad reviews are not true, just rumors. That is why it's more serious. And also, if you use anonymity, it makes it very hard to catch who wrote the reviews and who wrote the rumors. So the bad cycle just goes on and on. And also, this is very against the human rights. Yes.
Actually, in the current society, we can really track easily who's written the comments if there's a certain proof that it goes against someone's rights.
Yeah, but then for some, there are like people that they go straight to the point, like she's ugly, he's bad. But then there are people that goes kind of around it. They just don't say it right, but then they don't say it straight. They go just like kind of around it. So it's kind of hard to tell that is this the bad reviews for them or it's kind of just joking around. So it makes it more hard for the police and the governments to say, is this person did a bad thing to the person. So it's very hard to know that. And as I go on, human has a right to talk. Talk freely. So yes, that is true. But then they should not go over the line, because if you do, that is not protecting the other person's human right to talk and express their ideas and opinions, to write the wrong reviews and replies. So I think to solve this kind of problems, we think that we should not allow the online anonymity. Thank you. For 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Now I'd like to invite the leader of opposition. Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to prove that the online anonymity is more good. Why is more good? Well, they say in the Prime Minister, the saying is that there's no overlap, because in online anonymity there may be vectors to suicide, and also then there's rumors, and there's hard to trace. Right, you're really sad. Really unfortunate to think that change suicide. But ladies and gentlemen, the guys who leaves a bad reply, they must have the same thing in the correct world. Let's, for example, if there's a kind of in the hidden part who really wants to just criticize them in the real world, they will the guys who will probably leave a bad reply will go in the other side and will give have a kind of conversation about the rumor and give a bad will leave a bad reputation for him or her. So that means that it's also kind of the same result, and when it's online entity can be done. In online situation can be done. So it's kind of the same thing. It can be occurred in the real world and also in the online world. And also she said is that it's just really hard to trace that. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not perfectly online anonymity. we can see it's all on this right, but there's a kind of IP address is on the row. So if really the victims want to sue, want to know and want to sue him who blame someone, then he can go into the registration process and to take give in the punishment right away. And also in today's day, than before, we can say that there's more ethics, more information. That ethics is more settled than before. So many people know that if I remove the bad reply, I can be punished. And also it's more the bad thing. So in the current society, and we would like to give a statistical, in the online anonymity ethics is much better than before, where the challenge cases happen. So I would like to move on to the three argument. As a leader of opposition, I would like to tell the two things. First, the freedom of speech leaves the more thing only the online anonymity can do. And second is the more information that gives the more society more active. I would like to give the first things. In online anonymity is not it makes not facing face to face, and it helps to break down this and ignore social status. So in the current just world, that we just titling on in the current social status, like who is parents and what the position they do. So that leaves it's hard to speak the freedom, it's hard to speak what they really want to do. So it contributes to the breakdown of what they are prohibited in the past. So, for example, in the sexual concern, in the past, in the Korean society, based on the Confucius, so it's hard to say about the sexual concerns about them. So, but then now in the present, she can consult more actively in the online with anonymity than before. And also in the upper class complaint, we can think about universal sakan. The universal sakan is a kind of really military happening in the Korea. So we can say what the upper class, what our upper guys had did wrong, and we can criticize and we can give in the fact to be revealed in the world. We can do it with online anonymity. And third is a criticize in the political idea. Ladies and gentlemen, these kind of the things that if we just entitling the social status, we cannot just specifically say because our reputation, our possession, our stuff to earn to get our money is just breakdown if we just say. But in today's day, with online anonymity, so we can just say if only the online anonymity can do just accomplish the right away. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to again emphasize that we are seeing the possible danger of online anonymity, like rumoring kind of things. It's also already happened in the real world. But this kind of things harms already exist. But ladies and gentlemen, we would like to emphasize is that good that online anonymity can give is only the online anonymity probably can give into our society. And second is the more information is existed and it will actively in our society. Why? Because in the past, only privileged are allowed to talk about what the current society or kind of political issues that are going on. Because, and also, only the intellectual can access to political information, and they can talk about what's going on. But nowadays, we can say there's more place to talk about. Talk about what the opinion is saying about what is going on. And that means that there's more information. Even though can speak, who have more knowledge and more intellectual, but who has a really bad social status or social reputation by the parents or kind of things. So that means that they can also express their idea, and they can make more debate actively and make more the social information, social quality, more the better. For example, there's a Minerva cases in the 2008. The Minerva, they're so jobless and they're homeless, but Minerva has a really brilliant economical knowledge, and he just predicted about what the Korean economic happened in the 2008 in the mortgage prime case. So that means that there's more economical debates on our side, and that means that leads the Korean citizens to take concern about what our Korean economy is going, and then that leads to our Korean government to think about reconsider about their policy because of their fears. Basically, you really emphasize that this kind of goods came from the online anonymity. There is no harm. It's just happens. It's just in the real world. But our goods is just only can be accomplished by our policy. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Now I'd like to invite the Deputy Prime Minister to the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Deputy Prime Minister of this motion. Before I start my argument, I want to rebut the opposition side that the leader of opposition said about. First, they said that the problem in the bad replies are in real world too. But we need to compare that the online and the real world. In real world, the bad rumors can spread to who know that person who is can spread between the people who know that person, and in the real world we could catch the victim more easily because it's spread in it has more little dangers for spreading the information. In online world, they have more danger to spread, and when we send something the bad rumors in the Facebook or some Instagram that is online, the people can know, not only the people who are friends, but also all the friends who have the Facebook or the Instagram's IDs. And second photos was that we are not ignoring the freedom of them. We are strongly think that freedom is we can do whatever we want. Not to be painful or some harmful to another people. We don't think that is the freedom. If the person when the person do the bad rumors in the Facebook, they should not do the harmful things to the people, even if they want to do. Now I want to move on to my argument. I have one argument. So the argument is that it makes a crime because in anonymity, so we could recognize them who is bad or who is wrong. In 3 years ago in South Korea, there was a crime because of anonymity.
there was 5 people in the chatting room, but they didn't know each other. At the chatting, one of the people said, "Let's go or let's meet." So the 3 people were agree at that. So the last 1 people should agree at that the people were saying. So when the let's just say that the last 1 people was named A. So A came first to the place where they would met. But another people said that let's meet at the garage between that beside that the place that we met. So when A come to the garage, someone hits his hat with the metal stick to finally they ate that. The police was wondered because it has no real exactly evidence to find the suspect. But when the research itself, they could find that the chatting people made that the chatting room to make A get harmful. But it was also hard to find the suspectors because their names were anonymity. That means that they used their names. The police could catch them, but it was so hard for police to catch them. Because of anonymity, victims couldn't know who is bad or good, so they sacrificed in that time. And they used that, and some people use the celebrities' names for famous names or famous Facebook someone or the BG's names that they could make the crisis to. They can fool people that they are celebrities. Then the people who respect the people or fans of that celebrities, they will give some present or something or making something for them. So they could earn money because of that. If they said that to fans to give money because of their business, the people will believe, and the people is respecting the people, so they will give the money for their business. So these plans come very easily, and because of that, we think that we are in this motion. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Now I would like to invite the deputy leader of opposition to the podium. They're here. First of all, I would like to start with the rebuttals on what the government speakers have talked about. First, the Prime Minister came up to the podium and talked about that people get hurt and harmed by people because of such bad replies and reviews, which are called akpul in Korean society. And they gave an example of actor Choi Jin-sil, and they said that anonymous condemnation and bad reviews actually made her made her suicide. However, okay, we admit in some of the part, and yes, few people killed themselves due to the harm from anonymity. However, ladies and gentlemen, we the opposition viewed in kind of different perspective. we believe that it's not just because of the anonymity of the internet, anonymous traits that actually this internet system has, but actually we thought it's because of the social, of social disability or psychological weakness that actually these actors like Che Jin-soo or other people who suicided possessed. So because there are certain kind of legislative process and procedures like trials or investigation that they could take advantage of to protest on this situation and stop this. However, ladies and gentlemen, even though they had this chance of taking a legal procedure, they didn't take it, but they just chose to kill themselves, and it clearly shows so the possibility of using this legislative procedure clearly shows that it's not just based on anonymity of internet website, but their psychological problems and their own issues. And more about that bad replies, because it's based on personal hostility towards certain people when we make bad replies or bad reviews on certain websites. We believe that even though the internet doesn't have the trait of anonymity in the society, we believe that because this hostility this emotion of hostility cannot be removed or erased, we think that this situation of bad reviews and bad replies will still go on, no matter we have anonymity or not. So we thought that it's out of the issue. And moving on, the Deputy Prime Minister came up to the podium and said that in online information is highly easy to be spread, such as commercials like SNS. But however, ladies and gentlemen, if we think in reverse ways, it remains as an evidence. It remains as an evidence in the process of investigation done by the police or the government or in the legislative procedure. So it can be used as tools of investigation or can be the major evidence to make punishment. So we believe that they have to regard this point also. And she talked about her third argument, which is about that this anonymity actually makes crime. And she talked about the situation of this chatting room and said that this A person got hit by other people in the same chatting room. However, ladies and gentlemen, we believe that it's not because of the anonymous trait of this internet websites, but actually it's because of hostility. They are denying the whole possibility of this A person making offensive statement toward other people in chat room, and we believe that because there are certain results that actually made other people in chatting room very offended, it brought the result of this murder. And moving on, I would like to talk about our third argument, which is about socialization. So we believe that thinking about what it means to be anonymous, we thought that people are not shown or revealed who they are, and their basic identity gets revealed. So they can express their ideas and notions in their internet freely, no matter their ethnicity or appearance or whatever other traits they have. So because they are in the state of not revealing who themselves are, we believe that they are judged by their statements, what they're trying to say in that particular website or whatsoever. So to give you a very simple example, so if a person uploads useful information, then other users actually send him applause and ask for more useful information. However, when uploaded harmful information, this person can be condemned or punished by the government. So we believe that this environment of concealing who the users are naturally lead the people who are isolated, like the Minerva that actually our Prime Minister had talked about, can participate in this communication, this process of communication and conversation between other people, even though they are misanthropes, even though they are isolated in their society. So as we have already shown in the case of Minerva, we could clearly saw that even normal people, even normal daddies in our society, even normal daddies in our houses can actually get an opportunity to let them, to make themselves popular, show their ideas, and get their reputation. So I'm proud to oppose. Thank you.
For speech, now I would like to invite some of the women to the podium. Here.
First, opposition side said that about, as our deputy has mentioned, on online world and real world is kind of same. So I want to say something about that because actually in online world it affects them directly and visually and also more fast because of the development of our technology got really fast. And they also have mentioned that it is freedom of speech, and is a freedom of speech. But I think the freedom is under the line that they have to care about the other person's human rights too. So the freedom is under the line that they protect the other person's human rights too. And as the opposition side mentioned about the universal fund, they said that they can actually give yes.
So can you tell me how the deprivation of other people's rights are made?
Sorry, can I?
Okay, so can you tell me exactly how the deprivation of other people's rights is made?
Oh, because like if you write a bad reviews about them and they get hurt, and that's just going against someone's human rights, and it's going against someone's human rights because it's mostly it's not true. It's just rumors. And as I go on, as they say about Geneva, they said that it can actually help to get together and solve the problem. But about that, it's kind of like a real situation, and there are more problems of bad because of anonymity. And also, they said that the reconsideration of the policy happens because of the online anonymity, but then I think that it can actually be ignored more easily because without using the anonymity, it can actually the people who is against their policy can the government won't be able to ignore the people's opinion about against their policies. And
However,
yeah.
how can the government can ignore against the opinions?
Because it's anonymity and they don't know who did it and it's just all anonymous, so they can't just say this person is this and this person is that, so it can be really ignored easily. But then if they don't use anonymity, they have their own informations and they have their own names, so it's more hard to ignore their opinions. And they also said that it's the problem of suiciding and things happens because of their problems and their own issues. But that is kind of right. But then anonymity has a really big roles leading them to that, because based on their issues and problems, if they get hurt, then they can be led to death more fast and more effectively. And for my classes, and they talk to us about easy to tracking because it lives the evidence. But then actually, I think they can get enough evidence for getting punishments and evidence for just writing bad reviews about false facts and rumors. But then, and if you don't use anonymity, it can actually be a more strong evidence of writing rumors and bad replies. Thank you.
Now Now I would like to invite the opposition lip to the podium. Here.
The internet, like everything, is a two-sided coin. However, the crux of this debate is to discuss whether the internet, the anonymity of internet does more good or harm. Now let us see why our side have took this debate on, if we look at it on this perspective. First, we've found two clashes in debate. First, regarding freedom, and second, regarding the amount of harm caused into the society by the anonymous factors of the internet. Now let's go straightly into freedom. So first, the Prime Minister came out and talked about how IP track, there are some comments that go around that state about some certain matter indirectly, not directly, and we're unable to punish those statements. However, if this is true, then if this is true, then this actually could happen even when the internet is not anonymous. Even if you do have your name on the internet, your status, your age, everything on the internet, if you don't talk about it directly, if you go around it, then it doesn't really matter anyways. So that is why her first argument, it wasn't actually her whole argument, but well, that point didn't stand. In addition, I would like to clarify some points when it comes to democracy. So our society is a democratic society, and we believe that we should have a chance to be treated all fairly. We should sometimes, from time to time, we should have the same ground, an equal ground, regardless of our social status, of our age, of our looks, everything that matters when you're meeting someone in reality. Now, the only place to do so is the internet, where your anonymity is respected. And this is the only place where people who sometimes lack social abilities can go and find their social identities by using the internet. In these cases, this is true. And there are certain other types of things that the internet anonymity of internet can achieve, such as the things that our leader of opposition has said. Things such as sexual concerns or political ideas that you cannot really freely explain to others without being criticized upon, and without being you cannot really do those things in real life. It's quite difficult to do those things in real life. However, because the internet is a place where anonymity is respected, those things you would be able to do those things. Furthermore, I would also now I think that that is why we take the first clash, and I think that's settled. Now let us go on to the second clash, which was about the amount of harms. This was one of the most important points that were raised in this debate. First of all, the deputy prime minister talked about how the anonymity could lead to crimes, but her example was too exaggerated. too exaggerated. It was actually out of the idea. It was actually this example was not actually about an anonymity of the internet. It was an extreme case, and we believe that you cannot. This was too not only too assumptuous, but it was overly generalized into this case. And that is why the third argument, the whole example of her third argument, which consisted most of the argument, does not make any sense. In addition, I'd also like to talk about other things that are out of the issue in this debate. So when it comes to crimes, as our deputy mentioned, I would also like to elaborate on this point on two levels of analysis. First, we believe that people who make extreme decisions because of the anonymity of the internet are mentally who have socially who possess certain problems with their social skills, and the internet did cause them the internet did cause certain effects to their decisions, but we cannot really just cast the blame wholly upon the internet. This is also a little bit of a generalization that the government side has made. And on the second phase of analysis, I would also like to include the assailants when it comes to writing negative comments about certain people. So, in today's society, as I've said, we can really easily track the negative comments by tracking your IP. And if these people, most of these people actually know that if their comments go over the line, if they cross the line, they would actually get punished. So even if it became even if the internet was not about being anonymous, in these cases, these extreme cases, they would actually post the same comments over and over again. For example, we could see this on Facebook. There's some extreme case. There are certain cases where people cross the line. Even when in the Facebook you have you usually have your age or your status, all of those things in Facebook. These people don't really care about anonymity, so it doesn't really matter. And to wrap up, we believe that the government team didn't really talk about how their goals. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Now I would like to invite the opposition reply to the podium. Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give three perspectives in what today's debate, in the value debate here. But first of all, what is more important? We are constantly saying that freedom of speech can be accomplished. That is a new thing, a new achievement that only accomplished from the university. And we constantly, and there is a constantly saying is that these rumors and there's kind of bad reply that makes them more harmful. But ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the long evidence of what in the reality can occur. And also they said is that freedom of speech is not well accomplished because government can ignore when in terms of the anonymity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, even if there's a kind of reply, post cannot be posted even when there's on anonymity. And also, the government can see unbiased perspective. So it just varies in terms of the content of the argument itself. This is the whole context when our arguments like socialization, the freedom of speech, only how we the political and our thing that can be done that is not allowed in the past. And also we would like to say is that and in the rumors, we would like to also emphasize that rumors kind of this thing is does exist in the real world. Yeah, it can be just faster than this real world. But we, ladies and gentlemen, that it isn't just in the real world that the rumor can be spread into another people just original idea spread or not. No. It just kind of the difference in speeding exists. But in terms of the crimes, that it's more than easily to trace to who is the original spreaders because there's a road, there's the trace left, and also and then in terms of that we constantly saying that acting is going to better than and also punish is going to be more harsh than now. So the many people don't recognize the problem of the anonymous bad reply in here. So what we just want to emphasize in that just the thing that happened, the thing that accomplished by the online anonymity is just the freedom of speech. And freedom of speech made a lot of the changes in the society. We give them more socialization. We don't give more. We just break down what the social selling that is not break down for millions of years. And these kind of things, when you consider, this is kind of a new perspective, new kind of paradigm that only the minor can enjoy. Only the minor also the minor can join in the majority of the society. And we are constantly saying, so kind of this is a better debate. We have to say there's more than good. There's more good that gives a new thing. Just the harm. This harm is kind of longevity of what the real world can be done. It just moved the house into the online world. And so this kind of things when we consider this harm is just harm, but in the good we can say that which really is groundbreaking one. So we can say that there's more good. Thank you.
Thank you for the speech. Now I would like to invite the very last speaker of today's debate here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the government reply of this motion. I have three reasons that we win in this motion. First, the opposite side that the tendency to choose to kill, but the basic effect was the anonymized. Because of that, people write many bad replies. Requires more freedom. So we should think that how hard she was. So she should choose the suicide. And the second reason was about the real world and the online world. The opposite side that it's same when the person writes the bad replies on the real world, but it is different because in the online, the technology our country has developed the technology, so it has a danger for spread that information of bad things. And it also it can when we ban the anonymized, we can prevent the bad replies when in the online site the people know that their information will be find easily, so they will nervous to write the bad replies. And for the police, it's easy to find that that the suspects were too easy to find and easy to punish them, and too easy to solve the crimes. Third, our government is not ignoring the freedom. We are just saying about that wherever you can do whatever you want, but you cannot do whatever that if that things will be harmful or some bad things for them. Our goal is to prevent crimes and protect the weak person from the unalived. For these reasons, we strongly think that we should win in this debate and in this motion. Thank you.